Chef, is it okay to kill your grandpa?
You can't kill my grandpa, Stan. He's already passed on.
No, I mean kill my grandpa.
No, I don't think that's okay, Stan. In fact, I think that's illegal.
See, I told you, dude. Well, yeah, but what if the grandpa wants to die? Because he's really old, and he's just asking for help. Yeah, like assisted suicide. What about that?
I don't want to touch that with a 40-foot pole.
Hey guys, welcome back to South Park in the Dark, a podcast where me, Chase, the Chaz Screepback, and my friend Swag are sitting through every single episode of South Park and giving you our thoughts and opinions and whatever research we do on each and every one of these episodes. So welcome back to, I believe this is our 4th episode where we will be covering episodes 6 and 7 of South Park. Say hi to everybody, Swag.
Hey, how's it going, you goobacks?
You goobacks. I like it. We should have addressed that earlier, but I dig it. You just want to hop right into the episodes?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you said you had a lot of notes, so I want to hear a lot of your thoughts and opinions.
I did have a lot of notes.
This first episode of Death.
Yeah, so we are covering Season 1, Episode 6 of South Park, Death. First aired on September 17th, 1997. And I guess just to open with this episode, I think, like I said last time, where each episode for me personally has gotten better and better, to some extent. I thought this was my favorite one of the bunch. I thought this was. I laughed a lot during this episode, and it just like we're there. Last time I was saying we're getting there. This episode is like, all right, we're there. We're in South Park now, and
yeah, this one peaked for you so far.
Kind of, because I will admit
I can see why.
Pinkeye, I thought I remembered I liked a lot more, though I still liked it. I definitely liked this episode way more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no, and I can see why. It's a good episode. It's a good episode. We can just kind of give a little quick synopsis.
Yeah.
Begins with the Marsh family, and Grandpa is 102 in this episode.
So many fucking candles.
Absolutely done being 102. Also, there's 76 candles. He is absolutely done. Yeah. I like those little tidbits that
good catch.
Mean nothing.
Good catch. Yeah. I would have just accepted 102.
Well, I'll get to it later. But yeah, he is done being 102, and he tries to get Stan or Billy to kill him.
Yes.
That's a fun little bit. The entire episode.
Yeah, I mean that this is the very beginning of. I mean, he calls him Billy, and he calls him Billy the whole series from beginning to end. He is Billy, and we find out in this episode that it's because his grandpa called him Billy, and the cycle repeats.
And then on a little subplot, they're trying to cancel Terrence and Philip,
right?
Which just seems to be a theme and early on in this series.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's hard to think about it other than like it's the movie kind of. It's a small version of what the plot of the South Park movie is.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty much the episode, and what a grand episode it was.
I loved it. Yeah. To get started, here are characters that we are introduced to in this episode. As we already said, Stan's grandpa, Marvin Marsh, Terrence and Philip, Sheila Broflowski, and Death are at least the ones that I caught as characters that were introduced in this episode. Like I said, I thought this was so funny. I have so many notes. I don't even know if I want to start with things I thought were funny or just facts and things I caught throughout the episode. But I guess I'll start with one of my favorite running jokes throughout the episode is like the subplot of euthanasia and like people's thoughts and feelings on euthanization, and like because the whole episode's about him trying to convince Stan to kill him, his grandpa, and every time you ask somebody about it, they're like, I don't want to touch that with a 20-foot pole.
Yeah,
I don't want to touch that with a 40-foot pole.
Jesus and pals. Like I call it a Jesus and pals.
Jesus doesn't want to touch it with a 60-foot pole.
I'm not touching that with a 60-foot pole. It just grows and grows.
And it just goes on. I'm pretty sure it was during the 90s where euthanizations and euthanasia was a topic that's kind of like, it's like transgenders now, like something that is a heated topic, I think. So,
well, is it euthanization or is it assisted suicide? Because I was actually looking up like assisted suicide to see if that was a thing in 97, and there was like one law that came up about it, but I'm not sure how loosely tied it is to that. So I found that to be an interesting thing. Like if they're playing off of assisted suicide in general, if there was a movement or a push for that. At the
I
time.
think there was a euthanasia type of push around that time. I could be wrong, but something about the 90s and that kind of connects for me.
Actually, I'm just looking at 97 then. I always just called it assisted suicide. Euthanasia is a more compact word. Oh, 97 in the United States. Oh,
Okay, what do we got?
97.
What do we got?
Oh, so our new AI generator on Google.
Thank you, Google. Thank you, controversy of today.
So the Supreme Court ruled in 97 that terminally ill patients do not have a constitutional right to physician-assisted suicide.
There it is.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was
This
a
was
very
made in June 26, 97, and this episode came out on September 17th.
so South Park being
interesting.
South Park, getting very political very quick.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I had something in the recesses of my memory of learning about euthanizations in the 90s.
That is fascinating. Man, they really just hit a home run every time they want to tie in a concept to the show.
Because that's how people felt about it back then. Like, true, like they'd watch Chef and then be like, I'm not going to touch that with a 20-foot pole. It's like everybody feels it because it's just like, ugh. So
that was the controversy for that year.
Yep. Okay. Boom. That's so cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's something to think about for you. And I just love the whole episode through. They are just like, you don't even really think about it until the end when he learns that euthanization is bad. Stan's grandpa. So instead of trying to convince Stan to kill him, he just tries to go places where things might kill him. I don't know. I thought that was such a genius way for the show to he learns he can't kill himself, but he can get himself killed is the lesson.
Right.
And I thought the through line up until that point was really special. I enjoyed it a lot.
I enjoyed all the things that they try to, all the ways he tried to get himself killed with making fun of Cartman.
Yep. Getting Stan to hold the rope while he hangs himself.
Yeah. I watched it over and over again to see exactly when he was given the rope in that whole event, because there's just one little clip where he's just throwing the rope over the chandelier or whatever. It's like, what's happening? How did this transpire?
Yeah, it's pretty creative. I liked oh god, I have so many notes and I don't even know where to go with. I guess we got to get into the subplot a little too, where it's Terrence and Philip. They're trying to get the show. The parents are trying to get the show canceled because they find it not good for their kids to be watching. And there is a lot, I feel, to unpack with this whole plot line. For instance, it tackles South Park's response to people's opinion on South Park, because they're the show. It's very meta. They're the show that people are saying this about, and they're showing what those people sound and look like. And I just think that's genius in itself. Because it's like, what are Terrence and Philip doing? They're swearing and it's like fart jokes. And people, that's what they said about South Park. Like, oh, it's a stupid show and it's just about fart jokes and yada yada. And it just makes a joke at itself, but at those people at the same time. And I just thought that was such a fun way of going about it.
Well, I think they even doubled down and just made shit jokes.
Right. Because the same people that are trying to get the show canceled, it shows. One of my notes is even adults, even you fucking adults, you like fart. You talk like this. They all make poop jokes to each other throughout the episode, and they always laugh. There's not a single adult that's like, knock it off. No, they all start laughing about it, and it's so true. It's so true.
All giggle.
Because we're adults too, and we laugh at the same shit. We're laughing at that same shit happening in that episode. So I really like that.
Sheila laughing at Mrs. Cartman.
Right.
Yes,
even the worst one. Even the worst one laughs at it. So that was pretty good. I like that. And I like ways they went about this, how they first got Terrence and Philip to be considered for cancellation, because Stan is caught trying to kill his grandpa, and they say they did it while they were watching Terrence and Philip, and they get them on the news to talk about this show inspires demons and dark feelings in people, because that's South Park touching on say parents they've done it with Harry Potter, they did it with Dungeons and Dragons. That was a big movement in the 80s where it was this game is bringing the devil to children. So it's South Park kind of making fun at that, which I think they did really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd seen Stranger Things as well.
Oh yeah, they do it, but I mean that's a smart thing that Stranger Things does, because like that's just shit that happened and they just threw it into that show.
It made a great story about that. I think this episode, when you told me that you had a lot of notes this episode, I was kind of being like, it's what, the 6th episode in. How could you have a lot of notes? It's again.
I couldn't stop writing.
There's an issue that Trey Parker, Matt Stone see, and they just hit not even a home run, a grand fucking slam with this one quote from Kyle. I think that parents only get so offended by television because they rely on it as a babysitter and the sole educator of their kids.
Yep.
And it's just fucking, this is the first time, this is why I really wanted to really do this podcast with you, really kind of connecting the dots of the things that South Park brings to light, but also the impact it has on society. And this is the first thing that just brings to light, and we're still experiencing it today.
Maybe even worse today.
Yeah, like 26 years later.
Yep.
Like, goddamn, parents are trying to censor the world. And their fucking kids are going to get that information no matter what they do.
Yep.
Let kids live their lives.
And watch your own kids and teach your own kids and take care of your own kids.
Yeah, teach your kids. God damn it.
Don't rely on television.
But hey, we turned out all right.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I watched a lot of television. I watched this show.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. But I mean, I'm a pretty normal guy. Nothing wrong here. No screws. So I
yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
What else do you got on this topic? I want to hear all your thoughts on this
just this episode.
Protesting. Yeah, this protest of South Park within South Park.
It's crazy. There's so much. Though there is one thing I want to throw at. I do like Cartman's mom goes to turn the TV off because she gets a call from Sheila about it, and Cartman says to her, "Kyle's mom is a dirty Jew," and his mom just goes, "Oh, okay." like she agrees. It's almost as if she isn't going to turn the show off, and because that's his joke at her, is that, or not even his joke. It's what he says in retort, and she's just like, you learn a lot about Cartman's mom being very Cartman might get his anti-Semitism, anti-Semitism from his mother, and I have notes throughout each episode. Even the next one that really prove it. But
like, I'm almost wondering, is she anti-Semitic, or is he just so ignorant to the vial of human that she developed, that she reared?
I don't know. I don't think so. And a point I will make, I'm going to jump ahead one, but she makes him his Hitler costume in the next episode. He says, "My mom made it for me." I just don't know. She puts a Richard Nixon picture up. We'll get to that episode. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Spoilers.
But there is signs that, like, I think, like, my mom says there's a lot of black people in Africa. Like, there's been signs throughout the episodes that she has these qualities and may also teach them to her kid. So I just wanted to jump on that. But other protesting things I thought were funny were like, so the whole thing started because they thought the demons were leading the kids to try to kill Stan's grandpa from Terrence and Phillip. And so in also an episode that's about euthanasia, what do the parents and people of South Park do to fight the TV company? They all kill themselves and help each other kill themselves by shooting them into the buildings. So, like, to this extreme that they're going, they're doing worse than what they thought the demons were, like, making their children do. They're all just fucking killing themselves. And it's crazy. It starts with the one guy whose last name was McCormick.
Yep.
Which I was like, I wonder if he was supposed to maybe be like an idea for a relative or Kenny's dad. It's not Kenny's dad, but boom, he dies first. Kenny, McCormick, him, McCormick. And then you come back later and there's all these fucking dead adults just helping each other kill themselves. So that's part of the genius too, I think. And ultimately, it's not because of the stench of their dead corpses hitting the TV company, but because they have such bad diarrhea. It smells so bad that they're like, fine, we'll take the show off. Just get the hell out of here.
That's got to be some analogy, right? Like the pile of shit that they racked up just for being who they are.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
I
don't
don't
know. It's a fun little through line that they play because it starts with Kenny having diarrhea and it slowly catches on until everybody has diarrhea. So maybe it's just like, hey, we're gonna sneak a little poop joke throughout this whole. This is us being what you're calling us, a poop joke. And here it is throughout the whole episode, and ultimately it's gonna pay off in a very plot-centric way.
And at first I thought they were just playing on one of these things where this is the first cartoon diarrhea on television. But as it kept going and they kept laughing and I was like, all right, this is getting better and better.
Yeah,
I'm calling it making gravy.
oh my god, everybody's got their own little thing about how they ask it or how they say it. They don't just say they have diarrhea, they don't just say they gotta poop, they have funny little joke comments about it. Oh my god.
And I see here that this episode
Bring apple
was the
splatters.
model.
Sorry.
This big fact.
Okay.
This episode was the model for the movie.
Yes. Yeah. I did see that.
Yeah, so Sheila Broflovsky being an absolute downright bitch just carries over. I get it, this whole episode is basically just a mini movie.
So Carmen almost starts to sing about how Kyle's mom is a bitch.
Yeah.
It's not the same song, but it is definitely the idea.
Oh man, I'm in a fucking amazing moment. Then I love that song.
Yeah. Oh my god, can't wait to watch the movie and talking about it. I did also notice that when people were watching Terrence and Phillip, Randy laughs. Like he watches it and thinks it's funny. So there's like a little bit of the real Randy kind of showing slowly, but it's there. Like even he thinks like Terrence and Phillip is funny.
The town hall or something.
Yeah.
It's like, haha, they farted on each other.
Yeah, he likes it. He's the first adult that shows like, yeah, this is actually pretty good. I thought that was fun, even though he protested.
I think at some point it's just boy humor.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And
yeah, it's just like fuck.
It's just more of them being like, adults do think this is funny. Stop being lame.
Right.
Also,
fucking, it's 10 p.m. on Wednesday nights. Let it go.
Yeah.
Kids should be in bed.
That's true. That is a fact. Oof. Tough one. I don't know if you caught it, but Stan's mom was referred to as Carol multiple times.
Yeah.
I saw that. I think this is the last episode where that's the case. But I mean, I didn't. At least the previous episode when we found out her name, nobody said it, but lots of people called her Carol. At one point, it seemed like Cartman's mom said to Sheila, said Carol, blah 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 blah, or something. I can't remember the line, but so it was almost.
So actually, on the trivia here, apparently at one point, all three moms, Stan's, Eric's, and Kyle's, are referred to as Carol.
Okay, then that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, overall, I have no idea why.
Probably a joke, but then they realized it wasn't feasible.
Yeah, it looks like an inside joke with like a family member, but it's like we can't continue this.
I know that. I think Sharon is Matt's mom's name or something. I could be wrong about which one it is, but I know it's one of their mother's names. So they ultimately.
Oh, I mean, whoever they name is Carol McCormick. Kenny's mom is Carol.
Okay.
From there on out.
Yeah. Well, at least somebody had to keep it.
There's got to be more to the Carol story. Oh, this is the first time Kyle's mom goes, what? And I just love her reaction when she's in shock. What?
Same episode she's introduced in. Yeah, they established that early on. That probably comes from somewhere too. Yeah, and I'm sure if we dug deep enough, maybe save that kind of digging. Just a couple of the things I noticed that I thought was funny. I like Death riding a big wheel, chasing the kids. That just looked funny to me.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I'm not sure if I've ever seen this episode because I always saw Death in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I've seen parts of this at least.
It's interesting. I love hearing that some of this you don't like. It's new to you.
Yeah, I don't recall it completely.
Fun. The name of the TV company was Cartoon Central, so
yeah,
fun way to take jabs, I suppose. Because I think that this episode was the one that aired last before they finally got a full season. Yeah, I think I read something like that. And then the next episode was like the beginning of like their cleared season. So an interesting kind of ballsy episode to end on. Like we're gonna call you out. just a little.
Yeah, and especially 6 episodes in, I was more curious of like how many parents were aware of this episode of this show. 6 episodes in, that they were like, take it off. I mean, and it's a cartoon show. They're probably, oh, it's a kid's show, but then we're offended by
I bet
the non-kid part of it.
I bet if we could rewind time and like go back to when this started and we could have like our adult brains in our bodies to kind of pay attention, I guarantee you South Park didn't need a lot of time to be probably a cultural like bang. This is a show about cartoon kids that swear, and it's dark, or not dark, but it's like adult. And I'm sure when it came out, it was pretty quickly everywhere.
Yeah, and maybe in that time period, Comedy Central was actually a
Very young Comedy Central.
But like a better network where like the marketing was way better than the reputation has now. Because, this has obviously been their entire flagship for a while now. But
oh God, yeah.
Like this show early on, I mean, I would assume, it did air on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
It was a Cartoon Central was a mixed parody of Cartoon Network.
Right.
Comedy
Yeah.
Central.
Yeah.
I would have I was like, oh wow, so many people really hated the show 5 episodes in.
Mm-hmm. Parents will be parents, man. I mean, you still see it to this day.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, my home school district is a shit show.
Yeah.
Whose isn't it at this point?
Truly. It's disgusting. Makes me fear for the future of mankind.
You should homeschool your child.
I won't do that to him, though. Jesus.
You might get watch South Park every school day.
Yeah, dude, I'm not here to make a fucking freak, a lunatic, another lunatic in the world.
You're gonna make a little Cartman.
Sure, public schools are rough, but I mean, fucking homeschool kids. That's where you get those real freaks. Guarantee you look hard enough, you'll find.
To any listeners out there, if you were homeschooled, you are not a freak. You are valued. You are loved. You are worth it. I tried to save you. Didn't seem like you cared.
I almost wanted to double down, but I'm just saying Jeffrey Dahmer was probably homeschooled is all I'm saying. I don't know, but he was at least influenced by somebody who had been homeschooled. His parents were, maybe. I don't know whether he went or not. Somebody in that guy's lineage is homeschooled. And that's all I'm saying. Moving on. Death likes Terrence and Phillip. Ultimately Kenny is killed by Death. Death was after him all along. We got our Kenny death for the episode.
Sure. Yeah, pretty quick little death there.
But stretched out just like the diarrhea joke itself. Why did Kenny die? Probably because he had the diarrhea, I'm assuming. He was so sick from whatever the bug was. Diarrhea. And the boys use the bathroom in their classroom, which is only there for this episode. Never again. I'm calling it now. I don't know for sure, but I'm saying we will not see that bathroom in that classroom ever again.
Oh yeah, I agree. That was something I did not expect. I was like, oh my goodness, because I'm not sure they showed it immediately. The bathroom was in the classroom, but then they did pan to it. I'm like, oh my god, this guy is just losing his mind in the bathroom right next to like Wendy or Bebe right there in the corner.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The way the episode's built starts off with someone watching Terrence and Phillip. It's fart jokes. Parents are mad. Parents get all the other parents. The kids aren't allowed to watch Terrence and Phillip because it's all fart jokes. And immediately they're like, okay, the kids are at school and cue Kenny fart joke, diarrhea while people are talking for like a long period of time. This is what I'm saying. I like this episode. It's my favorite one yet because it's doing all the South Park things and it is nailing it, all of it.
Definitely.
Which South Park becomes very known for. It almost feels like just a good mundane episode of South Park to like viewers now. But when you're watching them one after the other, this one fucking kicked.
Yeah, I think this is just foreshadows of South Park. We see really in the 2010s and to the 2020s where they're just hitting home run after home run on key societal issues. I mean, even with the 2000s and took our jobs, like they are just killing it. So I think it was one of the first one.
Have never stopped.
We're gonna make fun of people, and it's the people that hate us. So it's gonna be a lot more fun for us.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And ultimately, my last real note, I think I've skimmed a lot of them, but I guess there's two. The parents decide ultimately that the kids should watch a good family show, and that show is Full House. They recommend Full House, so that's a South Park parent recommended television show. And then the kids at the end, after the show gets canceled, Terranceville gets pulled off the air, they all decide to watch porn instead. So just another funny kind of knock at parent, like, okay, if your kids can't watch this, guess what? They're gonna go find porn on the internet or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Because no matter what kids are gonna do, they're gonna jerk off.
Right.
Here. Kids
They're
and
gonna
adults.
find a way to jerk off. And yes.
It never,
Anybody. Actually, everybody.
never
They're gonna
really
find a way to
ends
jerk
for the
off.
rest of their lives.
No.
So that's really all I got for this one. Any closing statements or more you want to discuss about this one?
My only closing statement is that Jeffrey Dahmer was not homeschooled,
Okay.
but he was a child of divorced parents.
Divorced parents. If you can get some info on those parents, because I also did say that he was at least raised by people that were homeschooled. So if you could double down and tell me if at least his parents, and if not, I'll let it go. I'll let it go. The one of them.
So Lionel Herbert Dahmer was a Marquette University chemist teacher. He was a smart guy.
But it does not. I'm not saying that they're dumb. He could still have been homeschooled. Swag.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about.
I never said they were dumb.
No, he was not homeschooled.
I
and I'm
didn't
not
say
sure
Jeffrey
I can find
Dahmer wasn't
shit.
dumb. He was a lot of things, but he wasn't dumb.
He wasn't. No,
Yeah.
he was actually kind of an alcoholic.
Yeah, that's his problem.
Oh, he was also Irish. That makes
You
sense.
dig into that throughout our friendship. We'll bring it up on later episodes or something if we have to. We gotta truck along because we're already at 30 minutes for just that episode.
Adolf Hitler was a very, very naughty man.
Schweden! Loben der Brust lieben! Einer Menschen werden Bruder! Wenn was am Morgen, sagen Tau!
Jeden is verboten. As in a scrabble, it's Kafina Haga. Jeden is verboten, Kakarai.
So remember, kids, dressing up like Hitler in school isn't cool.
Now, do you have any questions?
Can I see that again? That was cool.
So the next episode we're covering is Pinkeye, Season 1, Episode 7, that first aired on October 29th, 1997.
Oh wow, over a month break between
Yep.
the last one and this one.
That's another reason why I think that the last one was they had to get picked up for another season before they could put out another episode, which took a little time. And
Okay.
good for them because it landed right as Halloween. So it's like their first year on television, they got a Halloween episode that's it's a Halloween episode of South Park.
Yeah, so quick synopsis is obviously the Halloween one. Kenny dies pretty early.
Right away, basically
yeah,
immediately.
That's fun. You get the Russians with the Una Problema on the one alarm button. Kenny dies and becomes a zombie after the people embalming him at the morgue poured a Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah,
in him,
and I think
and then he's a zombie.
It's funny how they solve that plot line too, is because like even to us the viewers, you think, oh, Kenny got something from the space wreckage, that's why this is happening, and then it's revealed no, it's because that guy put Worcestershire sauce on a hot dog.
Yeah.
And got it in Kenny. So that ultimate reveal was pretty fun. But we'll get to that down the road. I remembered this episode. I still enjoyed it, but I remembered it as like a bigger deal to me. It's probably because I watched it when I was like 8 and thought it was the coolest shit. Still liked it, but definitely not as funny and good to me as the last episode.
Yeah, this is just, a theme episode where there's nothing, tie-ins to, there's no like underlying plot or things they're trying to bring light to. It's just a fun theme episode.
And it is funny. It's still got the South Park wit and humor about it. I did notice this was the first episode. I don't know if it's the first, but it's first in a while. Can't remember if they did it in the first episode, but remember that I've been calling this out. But it's the first Stan to Kyle, oh my God, they killed Kenny, you bastard, shuffle, as we'll call it.
Yeah, so on the South Park wiki, the trivia section, that's the first bullet point. First time Stan says it, from weight gain 4,000 to death, Kyle has said it.
That's what I thought. So
Yep.
that was fun to see, and I hope they stick with it for a while there.
Yeah.
I think this is the first episode where we're told that Kenny is the poor kid, is poor, because Cartman calls him out and makes fun of him for being poor the whole time. So you're like, oh, Kenny's poor. That explains a lot, actually, knowing his character this far.
Well, and I thought they did it like one time previously. I'm not too sure because I've just been watching a lot of South Park during the day recently.
Right.
But
That's fair.
the thing I took away was that Kyle and Stan also rip on Kenny being poor.
Yeah, so it's
Later on,
it's not just a
yeah,
Cartman
that was
thing.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, they rip on Kenny,
But it is
or they all rip on like the dad being a drunk.
right. Yes, yeah. So you're told these little facts about Kenny's family as well and his life, as he's a fucking lifeless zombie.
Yeah, Kenny's lifeless, and he just gets ripped the entire episode.
Yeah, he's not there to hear it at all.
Even Cartman's like, I hate that he's not communicating.
And the perfect character to do it with, because from almost the get-go, it's not serious, because Kenny dies all the time. So it doesn't matter that he's a zombie. It doesn't matter that he's going to die at the end, because that's just his shtick at this point. He's the kid that dies. So perfect character to make the OG zombie.
Right.
And then, of course, I can't talk about this episode without talking about the Cartman is Hitler for Halloween storyline. It's so funny.
I didn't realize they did this so early on. I know they do it later. With the...
No.
Oh my goodness. He was
So-
7 in, and they're like, it's Halloween. We're going to make Cartman Hitler. And you're like,
Oh,
God damn.
God. Dude,
97.
And he's just shouting German fucking Nazi lines at everybody. Oh my God. So funny. I cracked up every
Like,
time it did that.
The world at this point still thought Nazis were bad.
Oh, for sure.
Today people are like, Nazis aren't, the worst,
Nazis,
right? They're
aight.
fucking crazy.
Weird
like
people.
it.
Those people were
They
homeschooled.
Probably with divorced parents as well, and
Yeah.
also alcoholics.
Come on. Yeah, get real.
But man, like, they really drew a swastika
Mm-hmm.
in this episode. I was surprised to see that.
Dude, as soon as Cartman walked into frame, I laughed so fucking hard. Because I've seen these episodes, but I do forget some things, and it was such a funny. And then, like I said, he said his mom made it for him when everybody tries to get him. All the adults, everybody that sees him gets pissed off at him in this costume, and he doesn't get why they hate it.
Oh yeah, it's fucking great.
Chef's yelling, we get introduced to Principal Victoria, and she's like immediately, oh, like we got to do something about this. So that was pretty funny. And then they take him in to watch that video, and he's just having a fucking time. He's just pumped about it. He doesn't see it as punishment at all. It ends, and he's like, oh man, can I watch it again? That was awesome.
I'm reading right now that there is actually a point in his speech that's basically it's all gibberish, but it sounds like you have lovely breasts. So Hitler at one point is saying you have lovely breasts in that video.
Might as well.
Yeah.
It fits. Oh my God. So funny. So fucking funny. And that fucking bear comes up, Puffy the bear, and that kid's just, you can't dress up like Hitler. Oh my God, ridiculous. So and what does she do? She cuts him a ghost costume that makes him look like he's in the cave for the rest of the episode.
When you see that, you're like, all right, you already know what you're gonna do.
Immediately, and then
Like, God damn it.
and then Chef sees him, and he's like, ah! And he just runs.
He fucking runs.
And Carmen's like, and Chef's really scared of ghosts. Dude, I was correct. I'm laughing hard right now. Imagine me when I was watching it. Oh my God, it was so funny.
Then you get to the one house.
Yeah, and then it's just a clan meeting.
You get to the clan meeting, and then Chef says on later, boy, don't remind him to whoop your ass later.
Hilarious. Oh my God. So that was a fun through line joke that carried till the very end.
Yeah, a ballsy episode.
Ballsy episode. And also, yeah, like Cartman's mom was putting up that Richard Nixon poster on their door for like a Halloween decoration. So I don't know. As she's saying Christmas music, she's all over the place, this woman. As she's on the cover of, what was it called? The magazine?
Crack Horror Magazine.
Crack Horror Magazine. And Chef wants it. He's like, give me that.
Even if it was a zombies looking at the
Zombies
crack
reading
magazine.
It's like beautifully done.
There's a she
She's funny.
says creepy crawly things while hanging up Nixon.
That's weird. Yeah, what's that about?
Oh man.
I mean, it
yeah.
fits the bill.
For things, couple little points I have. Stan puked again. That's
Yeah,
glad we have that back.
So it's strictly when she goes to kiss him. I had remembered it as when she would talk to him, but it seems like if she goes for a kiss is where we're getting the pukes.
Well, the first episode he puked like 3 times, and
Yeah,
I think one was an attempt at a kiss. The other 2 were just talking.
Yeah, so they've earned the right at this point to keep it at just when they go to kiss. I don't know.
Right. No, I mean, it's back, and I'm glad it's back.
Yep.
There's a couple aliens, at least I saw in pictures.
Ooh.
There's one in the morgue. And
Alien
one,
Watch?
Yeah, Halloween. Alien Watch.
Yeah, Alien Watch. Was there an Alien Watch in the last episode?
I did not. I thought I actually found one. Let me see. Death? Oh, actually, I don't think I saw one in Death.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. Okay, at least we got something for 7. Alien Watch. Ooh. Keep it up. Hey, we have to. We'll address it in a later episode that there was an Alien Watch. We reserve the right, to go back on things we say.
Oh, absolutely. Even if one of our avid go back listeners, want to call us on some shit,
yeah,
be our guest.
Yeah.
But it was one in the morgue and one on Cartman mom's house. I guess Cartman's house as a decoration. So I didn't see any live aliens.
Interesting. Still though, that's Alien Watch right there. This week's that was this week's Alien Watch coming at you.
I'll try to next few episodes try to make it more of a
Alien Watch.
Okay, I'll cue you. Yeah.
What's a good alien?
Okay. Good alien noise.
I wanted to say wee hoo, but that's not alien. That's which one?
Fucking SpongeBob doing wee woo. Garrison dressing as Marilyn Monroe is fucking on brand.
Yes, because at the end of the day, he's dressed as a woman. So just another sign at this guy, there's something in him that wants to come out. And Mr. Hat is also dressed as Chewbacca. Most of the kids are dressed as Chewbacca, and then Mr. Garrison's like, it was a popular costume, as Mr. Hat is Chewbacca.
I do love how they rip on Stan the entire episode for dressing like Andy.
God. Everything they say at him, all that fucking riffing is so funny. It's so funny. It once again is another thing that broke into my psyche of how me and my friends talk to each other.
Even Fozzie at one point said, "You look really cute. I almost want to kiss you."
Oh my god! Yeah, it's crazy. And he never takes it off. I noticed that, they go trick or treating, and he's just still. Other people have changed their costume, but Stan is still in his Raggedy Andy costume.
Right, Raggedy Andy.
Oh my god! As they call him everything but genius.
The only thing I got is this is the introduction to a midget wearing a bikini.
Yes, I did write that down as well. Because we were just talking about that in the last episode.
Yeah, gotta catch that one.
Yeah, so he's in it. He's in it in the long. I actually got a couple more notes. I like
throw them at me.
I like the subplot of Tina Yothers comes to town, and they connect it to why things are happening twice, and it's funny both times. The mayor and the barber caught fucking doing something and hoarding money. Something. And they make a Tina Yothers being in town joke, and then at one point I think it's serious where Shep's everybody's eating each other, and Tina Yothers comes to town. Something ain't right. That's his dead. What a crazy coincidence. So all those little jokes.
Oh, I just found a small commentary on that Matt Stone met Tina, and Tina loves the show, and has a clip of Kyle saying, "Up yours, Tina Yothers," to start her show. That's fantastic.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I liked that Chef, his Thriller song, I wanna make love. That was good. That stayed in my memory. I always remembered the moment where Chef turned into a zombie and sang that song, and it still holds up. Genius with the music they make for him.
Yeah, that was a great moment. because you expect a Chef song, but you don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And man, when he comes back as Thriller, it's like, this is perfect.
Beautiful. Beautifully done. It,
Yeah.
it fits the theme. He's doing all the Michael Jackson from the music video moves. He's reading the magazine. That was fun. And ultimately, they find out that they have to kill the original zombie, and Kyle fucking takes those chainsaws. Chef's chainsaws, which I love when he comes out the door with him and attacks the kids with them for a second. That's a fucking funny moment. Chef just has chainsaws to fight this whole thing. But Kyle takes it and fucking saws Kenny right in half. Cool scene. Ultimately for him, they're all standing at the grave. Carmen's crying. And Stan's like, what? And Kyle says something about being sad. He's like, dude, you killed him.
Yeah. That's such a Jared comment. Hey, you killed him.
You killed him. What are you crying? Yeah. So, because Kenny kind of dies 3 times in this. He dies at the beginning. He dies, when Kyle cuts him in half, and then he dies as he's coming back to life, and a statue and an airplane crush him.
The airplane actually got me. I gave a good chuckle out of that.
Good laugh out of that.
Yeah, this is the first time, or it's the first time Kenny dies multiple times, but it's, I think, the only other time besides the Coon episode.
Oh, God.
Spoilers.
Maybe. Don't count on it. There's a big gap there.
Oh, yeah, large gap.
And I think that's really what I had to say about this one. I mean, other than I like that Wendy gives her candy away to starving children in Nairobi. She sends candy because she wins because she's Chewbacca like everybody else. I did
enjoy that.
I thought that was a funny little line, like, oh, she sent candy to starving children. I have here. I have a note that I literally can't even read what I wrote. Oh, somebody tells somebody to use their mouth muscles like the girls in Beijing.
Mr. Garrison to baby.
Yes. Yeah, that. Bro, she's bobbing for apples. Classic. Love it. Love the little one-liners. Yeah.
Dude, Garrison is
savage.
Savage
gay man.
I'm taking this show early on, like we're 97 for a brand new series, and they're starting off pretty well, but they also just have these characters that are just fucking like kids are gonna rip on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are gonna say like Carbon at this point. He's wearing a Hitler costume, but he's also a fucking 9-year-old kid wearing a Hitler costume.
Yeah.
Fucking Mr. Garrison is the teacher and is the most unhinged person so far in the show. Chef is the most rational person in this whole show.
Yeah, he's a little crazy too.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, the adults are fucking baffling.
Which is, a commentary in itself. If the adults are this dumb, well, then the kids, this is who they're learning from. This is why they're this way. Oh, South Park. But yeah, this was a double feature that I was really excited to talk. I'm glad we decided to do this one soon, because now that I've kind of gotten in the stride of watching episodes, in between his naps or like things like that, I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got to get better at watching an episode and taking some notes, and not just trying to do both back to back.
We'll have bigger gaps in between episodes from here, so you'll have like a week now to watch another episode. Or 2 episodes.
Yeah, and I got some time, so maybe I'll watch something this weekend.
Yeah.
Before we just start shooting the shit, do you want to do an outro?
But yeah, so if that's all you got, that's all I've got on these 2 episodes.
Yeah, nothing more than I got from my end. The first death was, I think, a staple moment for South Park, and I really enjoy Pinkeye for being a good theme episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A nice little double feature. Well, that's all I got. I'd say that's the episode. So thanks everybody for coming out and watching us do South Park in the Dark. We're having such a blast going through all these episodes with you and talking through them. Check us out. The plan is to put out new episodes every Wednesday on the Nerd Shit in the Dark channel. That's on Spotify, Apple TV, I almost said, Apple Podcasts. It's out there. Check us out. Find us. Watch Nerd Shit in the Dark, another show that we put on every other Tuesday. Yeah, subscribe and all that jazz. We'll catch you guys next time. Take care.